Hello.
Hello, welcome back. Caught myself out there. Well, how are you, Dave?
Good in yourself, man. Can I ask you one question?
Yeah,
Are you recording?
I am recording.
Are we live?
It's taken my third attempt, but I have pressed the record button.
Awesome.
Welcome back. Joining
man.
us for another post-game show.
Welcome,
Dylan
everyone.
and Dave again, talking about, let's just call it the first game of the season, Arsenal versus Norwich.
Yeah. Opening day of the season. It was a
Good
majestic
win to open the
occasion.
season. Yeah,
man. Open with a good win.
tough pre-season
There are,
after the tough pre-season. Yeah, good to open with a win.
there are only 35 games in the season, right? I'm correct.
I think so. Yeah, I think there's only
Yeah.
one, isn't there? Just ended here. 1 from 1.
Yeah, 1-0, 3 points, done.
But I don't know about anyone else. I know we're suffering after staying awake last night, after a few drinks and staying awake for the game, going to bed at 4:30. So yeah, bear with us as we get through this.
Yes. Yeah.
But I guess let's start with opening lineup, shall we?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know quite well what kind of state I was in last night when this game kicked off. I didn't even know it was the game, and I had arranged to have a bit of a get-together. So I was going to go to bed early and then realized at 1:30, I was like, well, there's 30 minutes to the game starts. I might as well just stay up. So, yeah, that was fun. Yeah, the lineup caught me a little bit off guard. I don't know if it did the same to you. It's not what I was expecting, but I was pleasantly surprised. It's probably I said in our chat, except for Ainsley Maitland-Niles, that was probably my, swapping him for Partey. That was probably my preferred starting 11, I would say.
Yeah, no, I would say, yeah, take out Maitland-Niles and put in Partey, and that's our strongest 11 that we'd really go with. Maybe you could argue Smith Rowe could have been in there, but I was kind of surprised he was in there because there was a bit of a illness earlier in the week. He got taken out of the under-23s, but no, like this.
I didn't even know that.
Lineup, yeah, he got called up for the England under-23s, but got sent home. So
that's why you host this show, because you actually know what's going on.
I give a good impression. I have no idea what's going on if you know me, but
it's just a quick 5-minute Google search before we go live. You're like, what's all the news? And it makes it seem
top 10 things that are going on with Arsenal this week.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what did you think of the lineup? Surprised that Ramsdale was starting?
I've just messaged my wife to say I can hear everything the kids are doing. So bear with me while I get that taken care of.
Okay, carry on, mate. Carry on.
Yeah, Ramsdale. I'm surprised that that he started. He's not that he started. It's more so that he's, has he given up on Leno already after only 3 games? I know it's not been the best 3 games, but I don't think we can outright blame the keeper for that. But maybe he just wanted a fresh start after the international break with players that hadn't necessarily, pretty much a whole new backline, because except for Tierney, none of the other players had played this year. So maybe it was just a refresh completely, and I'd say it worked well. I loved seeing Ramsdale in there. Communication he had with the team, his positioning, he commanded the box really well. So I think Leno's got a really tricky time coming up.
Yeah, I agree. I was very happy to see him in goal. I'm no complaints there. I want to seeing as though I've said it before, he's probably going to end up our first choice by the end of the season. I just didn't think it was going to happen this quickly. I feel it's a little bit unfair on Leno to kind of come straight at the team. I don't think he's done too much wrong, just like you said. Um, he's been pretty, he's been all right for us. So I did think it was a bit unfair on him to immediately take him out. But then again, I was happy that Ramsdale started. English boy, so I'm always up for playing local talent instead. And seeing as though he is probably going to be our number one pretty soon, might as well just start him early. And yeah, he did pretty well. There was there's one specific moment. I think it was when they had Norwich had a free kick in front of the box, and our wall tipped it over the goal. I don't know if you remember that specific free kick, and Ramsdale was just so happy, congratulating the team, clapping the players for doing that. I just thought, that's a bit of enthusiasm that we've been missing.
Yeah, I think obviously it's hard for us to tell from our TV screens all the way over in New Zealand, but I think the feeling around Leno is he's too quiet on the pitch. He doesn't necessarily command the box and isn't vocal enough, and you can sort of see it around his language on the TV. But yeah, Ramsdale, you could tell straight away watching the game last night. Anytime it came near him, anywhere inside the box, like he was vocal and really like telling everyone what to do.
Yeah, which is what you want as a keeper. I mean, that's if you really want to make your presence felt as a keeper, you shout at everyone.
Yeah.
It's one of the things to do. So Ramsdale starting, Tomiyasu getting his debut after only being with the team for 2 days. What'd you make of that?
I think that shows our shortage of right back options more than anything else. But also, I mean,
it shows how desperate we were.
Yeah, I mean, and also, if they really think he's good enough, then we brought him in. That's why we brought him in. So he's had international break to get ready for it. So it's not like he's just come straight in without anything. Although I think he may have been with Japan, so he may not have actually come straight. He may not have been there during the international break. But
really he was definitely with Japan. Pretty sure he was. Yeah.
But everyone's concern was he was more defensive, not going forward, and we might rely on Tierney too much. But going forward, he looked fine. Obviously, he's not someone that's going to be going up and crossing the ball too much, but I saw him do it a couple of times. He was making the runs. Had a nice shot there in the second half as well. First half, sorry.
That was the first half, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that was him coming, arriving late in the box, which I really like. Yeah, he did get forward. He didn't get forward in the same way that Tierney got forward. Like Tierney obviously drives that byline and puts that, puts the cross in, where Tomiyasu doesn't really do that. He does get forward and help out with kind of play up in the final third, but he isn't one of those people who are going to bomb into the byline and crossing the ball into the box. But promising. I thought he was a lot quicker than what I thought. I thought he would have been a little bit slower. If you watch the YouTube videos, it seemed like he was a bit more larger, cumbersome, maybe a little bit slower. But I thought his acceleration was pretty good. I can't fault him at all. It was a really, really good debut. He came on very early, so I don't know what Arteta's thinking was there. When Smith Rowe came on for him, I was like, that was a weird change, but maybe he's not gonna wear him out too early.
I sort of put that down to it's the sort of position where Maitland-Niles would have done just as good of a job there. So ease him into the team as opposed to a full 90 minutes. What was a really full-on game as well. Like, it was, Norwich weren't just sitting back; they were really going for it as well. So it was really open end to end. So it was a good introduction, I guess, for him to the Premier League. But I think the other thing I like about it as well, because he's big and strong. With Gabriel and White as well, like, it's a real solid defense. It's not fragile. I don't feel, watching that game, although Norwich isn't really a threat in the air, I didn't ever feel troubled by crossing or corners. Having, we've got the size advantage, which was good.
Yeah, we were. We were by far had the taller players, and especially in defense. I mean, Gabriel and White are both pretty tall players, and Tamiyasu, who did win a couple of headers, which is really good. um, yeah, I mean, Ian said in the box in the chat that we're looking like a decent back four. I think this is our best back four, and will be for the season. And you know, we know Tierney's injury history, and we know he probably will be missing games during the season. It's just inevitable. He's not going to be able to stay fit the whole season. But I mean, bringing Tierney coming out and bringing someone like Tavares in, it's not too much of a drop. It's not like last year when Tierney would come out and who would we have to put in? You know what I mean? It's not like it's now the secondary option. It's not so much of a drop off in quality, which is good. That's how you build a team. That's how you build a team.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, can't fault the defense yesterday. We held up really well when they did come forward. Pookie caused a couple of problems, but I thought we dealt with it pretty well with the new centre back pairing as well. But midfield, we were both surprised. I think everyone was surprised. Partey wasn't there. Obviously, everyone expected Lokonga to be in there. It was more Maitland-Niles. We were surprised to see, but not bad. They started the game fairly well. Lokonga looked fantastic in his passing again. Maitland-Niles a bit. He was breaking up the play well, but his passing wasn't always there. But we sort of, I guess, dropped off as that second half, as the first half went on. And that's where we sort of, I guess, fell apart, was that midfield too. That's where Norwich really got on top of us.
Yeah, I mean, Lokonga, he was, again, impressed me for someone who's so young. He did get caught in the ball once or twice, but that's going to happen. He's still very young and still getting to, grips with the pace of the Premier League. Maitland-Niles, I mean, I think his display this morning just kind of showed to us why he doesn't start there, if you know what I mean. It's not like he performed in a way that we looked at him and be like, oh, he has to play, he can actually play midfield. We have to really try play him in midfield this season. I think I looked at him and I was like, that's exactly why you're not playing.
I mean, he's going to have to be content with El Neni role where he's cover, and he's also got to be willing to move into that right back.
I think
because he's not going to be anywhere near the starting 11, I don't think, on a regular basis.
No, definitely, especially on the midfield. I mean, I'd play El Neni above. It's obviously who you partner him with, but I think El Neni's better on the ball. Might not be more as adventurous with passing, but I think El Neni doesn't really get caught on the ball. That mainly is down to how safe he plays. But I think Maitland-Niles was, he was rushing some of his touches. He was rushing some of his passes. He was trying risky passes that just weren't there. Maybe he was trying too hard to impress. But yeah, at the end of the first half, I said in our chat, I said that Maitland-Niles is probably our weakest player from this first half, and I would probably take him off to bring on Partey. It is, we did bring on Partey later on, but I think that move could have been made at halftime, and I wouldn't have been upset with it.
Yeah, I mean, they started well, like I said, but it did, definitely fade as the half went on. I was more not disappointed in his performance, but I think he was quieter with Saka. I guess moving on to the forwards, I felt he was pretty quiet. A lot of our stuff was going through either Tierney on the left or down our right with Pepe. He didn't really have much to do in the first half. He had a couple of nice touches which draw fouls, but I can't remember anything really in the first half where he took the ball and really tried to, push himself into the game.
Yeah, nothing really jumped out at me, especially in that first half. He did come into it a bit more in the second half. He's getting more touches in the box, but yeah, he wasn't really in the game in the first half, which is fine. He's the type of player that even if he is having a half like that, you keep him on because you know that he could create that little bit of magic, which he did. He was he looked a lot more promising in the second half, as I said. So yeah, which is weird. I was really looking forward to Saka on the left, Tierney on the left, that partnership. I was really looking forward to that, but yeah, maybe after the international break, Saka was with England, obviously traveling with them, so maybe he was a little bit just jet lag, tired. Staying on the forward, what do you think of Pepe's performance?
Mixed.
Very mixed,
Um,
eh? Very mixed
I
performance.
liked parts of it, but yeah, I mean, when it comes to the two of them, Pepe and Saka, I thought Pepe was better at tracking back and helping out.
Mm.
Saka seems to be the one that sometimes can be a bit lazy and not get back. It cost us, I think, a couple of weeks ago. But in terms of Pepe, his defensive side, I think, has improved. His touch still needs to be a bit better.
His
At
first touch.
least he's willing to go onto his right foot, though, a little bit more. I've seen this year. Like, in the past, he was always looking to go on his left foot. And it's so easy for defenders. If he got past them, his left foot's deadly. But it was just too easy, I think, for defenders, knowing that he's always going to his left. And it looks like he's maybe trying to fix that a bit. There was a few times where he looked to go to left, but then took it on his right, which sort of almost beat the defender because the defender was trying to, ensure he didn't go onto his left. So if you can improve that more, improve his touch, he's looking better this year, I think. Sometimes last year he just looked out of the game a bit, where this year he looks a better fit in the system, in the press. He just needs to, that final product.
I agree. I mean, he started off very well. Lots of energy yesterday, right? He was all over the place. He was getting on the ball quite a lot, and he was skiing in dangerous positions. Talking about cutting onto his left, there was one specific occasion when he was on the edge of the box, and he was, it looked like he was going to put it onto his left, faked it, put it onto his right, and then obviously try to get the cross in, which was blocked. But it's like, it's that type of play that he wouldn't have done last year or the year before. He would never have done that. He always would have cut it on his left hand side, on his left foot. So yeah, he is definitely more open, which is, he's actually not too bad on his right foot. He's actually can get quite a lot of power from it. So yeah, I'm glad that he's using it more. I was watching it yesterday, and I thought if we are going to score a goal, it's going to come from him. He was just looking the more dangerous, despite what everyone may think. I know in our
Mike.
In our group chat, they were bashing him, which I was like, yeah, okay, it's justified. He's not everyone's cup of tea, but I could, if we're gonna score a goal, it's gonna come from him.
He's a very easy target because of his price tag.
Absolutely.
There's not really much forgiveness when something goes wrong because we paid 70 million for him. So I can understand that, but I think he's a bit harshly judged sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, if he came in for, we've said it before on previous shows, if he came in for 20 mil or 25 mil, you'd be like, dude, that was an absolute steal. But because you're adding an extra 50 million onto that, you're like, this guy's a waste of money. But I do, I did think if we were going to score, it was going to come from him, which evidently it did. And you're back. Did we lose you there for a second?
Slight technical, that's all.
What else can we say about Pepe? Yeah, obviously the goal came from him.
All I could do was laugh when I saw that goal yesterday.
Mate, it was a goal.
It was the messiest. It was if ever you're going to score when you can't score, it's going to come like that, isn't it? Like, especially what had come before that, where just it seemed like no matter what we were doing, we just weren't scoring. That young left back for Norwich, Williams, you know how like we always say at the Emirates, the opposition goalkeeper just has the best game of their life. Yeah, that was him yesterday. Like this, I think he's 21, left back. Everything he did yesterday was just being in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah,
and it was pissing me off. But it was messy. I think the right call though. I don't think it was offside because I think it came off Pepe's foot. when he was upside down on top of Krul. But
So, so either way you look at it, right? So when the ball was played, whether it came off Tim Krul or Pepe, they were both in front of Aubameyang relative to the offside line. So whoever it came off of, Aubameyang was behind the play, so would have the ball
he was in
traveled backwards
front.
to catch
So
him.
when it came off the post, went back to Pepe, he was offside.
Yeah, but
But
that doesn't count.
well, that's the thing. Like obviously, Norwich thought that from there it didn't touch anyone. So Pepe's second attempt at goal ended up at Aubameyang, and he was offside. But because it came back and hit Pepe's foot again when he fell over Krul, it was
Exactly.
onside.
Yeah,
But
there was no question about it. I was watching. I had to watch it once, and I was like, it's onside. There's no issue with that, and I don't even know. And VAR, it wasn't even a long check, so VAR was pretty certain about it as well. So I mean, that says all you need to know about it.
But it was good. It was frustrating that we weren't finishing our chances, but it was good to see we were creating chances. It's something that we missed. I think it was the first time in like 3 or 4 years. Well, sorry, not the most chances we've created, something like 30 in about 3 or 4 years.
I mean, 30 shots. We had 30 shots yesterday, which was really good. We were quite relentless. I mean, that the first 20 minutes, I don't think Norwich actually got the ball out of their half. We were relentless in that opening period, and I'm so disappointed we didn't score. And I knew if we go into the second half still 0-0, this could turn nasty, which it didn't.
To be fair though, the crowd was good yesterday.
Yeah, the crowd were amazing.
I think that shows that the team actually puts in effort.
Yeah,
the fans will respond because the team was putting in a lot of effort yesterday.
Exactly,
and they responded.
If all the fans want to see is they want to see people putting in 100% into the game. If you the last thing you want to see as a fan is you gain the feeling players aren't putting everything into it. And I didn't get that feeling yesterday. I thought that every single person, especially in our starting 11, was giving it their all. And that's what I want to see. And you can't fault them on that. They can't fault them on that.
Yeah, I've seen a few people saying Odegaard wasn't the greatest. He's got a few problems getting into shooting positions and whatnot. But the effort he was putting in yesterday, I think he was maybe because that's where the camera was pointing, like he's the one you saw the most. But the amount of running he did to shut down the defenders and the goalkeeper in that first half,
dude, he ran his socks off, and I thought he actually dictated play very well. He was on so many touches, and just kept that ball moving. And he had that one overhead ball to Aubameyang, who took it down with the right foot and then quickly played it on the half volley with his left. Do you remember that? And Tim Krul stopped it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a goal because the way the ball kind of bounced off Tim Krul, I thought it was going right into the net. But amazing ball from Odegaard. That's what he brings us. No other player on our team can play that pass. Only he can. Maybe Partey, but Odegaard can definitely. I mean, yeah, he might not have had the greatest game yesterday. It was a difficult game to play. I mean, Norwich are basically sitting with 11 players behind the ball for most of the game, except when they were breaking, obviously. But yeah, there was a lot of promising signs in this. I keep on saying yesterday was this morning. It was basically this morning.
Yeah, no, I mean, completely agree. Good to see Aubameyang get the goal. So hopefully that'll kick him off on a bit of a run. Because, I mean, obviously Lacazette's still there, but we don't really have anyone who's really pushing to take over at the moment. Obviously, the younger ones, after the first few games, just don't look ready. So hopefully he can get on the run now. With the next few games coming up, should be an easier run.
Yeah, I mean,
we have got the one game against the guys down the road coming up, but other than that, it's a fairly easy couple of weeks. You'd hope. You never know with Arsenal, but you would hope.
Hopefully, maybe. I mean, talking about the younger guys, they're not looking like they're ready. One of them probably would be Martinelli, who didn't look great against Chelsea, and starting up front. So it's good that Aubameyang scoring again. Yeah, I think Martinelli's still got a little bit of way to go. I haven't. I mean, yeah, he's got potential. I haven't seen anything from him in an Arsenal shirt that has screamed, "Yeah, this guy's gonna be amazing." You know what I mean? Yeah, he's got talent, but he's got a long way to go. He's got
Yeah,
a
I mean, it's
long way
very
to
hard
go.
still as well, I guess, especially the younger ones, where they really need to be coming into a team that's performing. It's
Yeah,
very hard when the team's not
yeah,
performing for a young person to come in
yeah.
and take the game. Where you see it every other club like City, they'll have young players come in who, yeah, they're talented, but also the fact that they're coming in and not playing, with another couple of under 20s, they're actually coming into a first team squad and they're just filling in and they're able to perform because they're surrounded by another 10 players that are, world class. It helps.
And performing and playing well. Yeah,
So I feel a bit, lenient on them because, yeah, he's definitely got the talent.
yeah,
And I would
definitely.
have no hesitation to say that he would be, a good squad player this year if we can get on a bit of form because, if the whole team's playing well, he'll easily slot in.
Oh, absolutely. And if he can stay fit, this year's going to be massive for him. He will get a lot of game time if he can stay fit. I mean, he will play a lot of games this season. There was no need for him to come on today. Well, yeah, he was on the bench, didn't come on. I think once we got the goal, which is at 66 minutes, I think Arteta was he just wanted to, there was so
Not
many
shut up
attacking.
shop, but it was
He
I
didn't.
know what you
Yeah,
mean.
he didn't shut up shop. I mean, he brought on Smith Rowe. He brought on Partey and Smith Rowe, and then after the goal came in, he took Maitland-Niles on and brought on Cedric. So there was a lot of attacking players on the field. I think he just didn't feel. I think if we added another one, it just would have been too much. So I agree with him for bringing on. I don't agree with him for bringing on Suarez. No one can agree with that. But bringing on a more defensive-minded player to kind of just solidify it, make sure we end this game with the 3 points. So yeah, I can't fault him on that. Martinelli will he'll get his chances this season, no doubt about it. I'm not worried about that at all.
Yeah. I guess going back to the game though, subs in the second half, you just mentioned on it. So it was first double change Smith Rowe and Pepe for, was it Lokonga and Tomiyasu?
Tomiyasu, yeah.
Like I said, started well in the game, eased off in the second part of the first half. But I think the change in the midfield especially really just settled the whole team. Partey in particular, just what's the word? Just the way he just oozes, calm when he's got the ball. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like,
absolutely.
It's like slow motion, just the way he gets it, and then he can just, the pace he gets on the ball when he passes it, like the one to Saka leading up to the goal.
Yeah.
Just takes the entire midfield out of the game with that one pass.
I mean, I didn't even see that pass was possible. That pass didn't even come into my mind when I was watching the game. I was like, okay, he's got the ball there. Holy shit. I didn't see that. And then next thing, it was a goal. I was like, what I mean, I did not see it. And usually when you're on the screen, you can see more than what the players can. I did not see that pass coming. But it just shows you that we were lacking a little bit of quality in the center of the field. And just putting Partey in there, it said it for itself. He was on the field 5 minutes and created the goal. It was brilliant.
It's a shame that he got the injury in preseason because watching some of the preseason games, was doing the same thing. It was those along the ground, quick passing to feet on the edge of the box that set up some good chances in preseason. Just like I said, the amount of speed he gets on and power he gets behind the ball, and the accuracy as well. It goes straight to feet. And it just takes multiple players out of the game. So, if he can stay fit, our midfield is looking really, maybe short on numbers, but when they're all fit and healthy, it's really strong.
Yep. Just all we need to do is get Party on. So we got two comments there. So Ian, obviously talking about Pepe's first touch. Yeah, I mentioned in our chat yesterday, Pepe's first touch is out of control. He has got to work on that. I mean, he gets into such good positions, and his first touch, he just completely just miscontrols it, and it goes straight to Norwich play, loses the ball. So he's really got to get that under control. And yeah, Jacob Miles, I totally agree with him here. Basically saying that he wasn't nervous when the ball went back to Ramsdale, which, yeah, I wasn't. I wasn't concerned. Every time they attacked, I didn't feel like we were in trouble of conceding, actually. I never thought that we were actually going to
No, like I said
be in
before,
danger.
Crossing, corners, anything like that came in, was very confident. Even like Jacob said, when he was actually on the ball,
Yeah,
and we're playing out from the back, none of them really looked under pressure too much.
no,
Even when there was a couple of occasions, one I think with Ramsdale, and then one with I think Ben White, where they were closed down and still had the presence of mind just to knock it back the other way and get out of the situation.
I know which one you're talking about with Ben White. There was occasion where he was closed down and he completely sold the guy, like so calmly, just took it, like faked it with his right foot and then took it onto his left and then passed it across goal, I think, to Tierney, who was out on the left. And he did it so calmly. I was like, this is what we've totally been missing when like it's fucking David Luiz. You know what I mean? And it's like he's struggling to get the ball out of his feet. Like that's totally what we've been missing. But so Ramsdale, we did mention it before it was actually the first thing we spoke about. We were really happy about him. Great performance, and I think it's great that there's a bit of competition between him and Leno now. Leno's now got to fight to get his spot back. It looks like. I don't know if the manager's going to be chopping and changing them, or now he's literally going with Ramsdale as number one. Who knows? We don't know. We weren't expecting him to even come into this game. So, yeah, pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I think, again, it's not always an individual performance that stands out, but sometimes, they can be the victim of performances. We've conceded 9 in the first 3 games and got no points, and now we've changed keeper, clean sheet, 3 points. It's not down to the keeper, but it just that's the sort of stuff that might just play on the coach's mind when it comes to selecting.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Ramsdale was really troubled, so Leno wouldn't have been really troubled. It would have been the same result, I feel, regardless of the keeper.
I know. You never know, but I know what you mean. But when it comes down to selection, it might just be
absolutely
what goes through his head, I think Leno might have a bit of work to do to get back,
which is great. It's I mean, Leno too long. Leno's been going on without anyone actually pushing him for that number one spot. So, I mean, it's great that he's got a bit of competition now. It's only going to be good for him and good for the team. I mean, at
the end of the day, we just want the best person for the position, and I don't care who it is. If it's Leno or Ramsdale, I don't care, as long as whoever's coming in does the job. So whoever that may be, I don't think it really matters.
No, not at all.
Any other thoughts on the game?
Not any. No, I think we've spoken a lot about the game. It's good to get 3 points in. Doesn't matter how we did it. We got our first goal, we got our first clean sheet, and we got our first 3 points. I can only be happy, right? I can only be happy.
Yeah, like I said, not a bad way to start the season, huh? 1 game, 1 win.
Yeah, 34 games to go. It's only 35 games in a season.
You're not doing fantasy this year, are you?
Absolutely not. So let's talk about no,
So you just got to keep going on that. Ignore it.
no,
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it either. Actually, not doing too
no.
great.
I'm not doing fantasy. I always get I always lose interest halfway through the season, and then just forget, and then just it just crashes down into a big ball of fire. But I'm looking at our next fixture. So we've got Burnley next week Sunday. Another must win. We have to get 3 points there. We can't get a win today and then go back to a draw or loss. We have to get a win. We have to start a bit of a run here, especially going into the Tottenham game right after that.
Yeah, I was thinking about it after the game last night, and we could end up going to the Tottenham game with our terrible worst start in a century or ever, and Tottenham top of the league after 3 games. We could go into the Tottenham game, a win against them, and we're level on points.
Yeah, it's
So
yeah.
because they've got Chelsea up next, we've got Burnley, which they haven't started too brightly. So as long as we can, avoid any injuries and go in, I hope with the same starting 11 minus Maitland-Niles.
Yeah.
I do fancy our chances, and then go into the Tottenham game with the chance of going into level on points with them after 6 games. I don't think anyone would have been tipping that a couple weeks ago. So
No,
it's
I
not
mean,
all bad. It's not all doom and
oh
gloom.
man,
But
all I heard for the entire fucking international break was, "Oh, this has never happened before. Tottenham top of the league when Arsenal at the bottom of the league." It's all I bloody heard, and it made me sick actually. So, yeah, if we can do that, if we can just do what you said, beat Burnley, beat them, and be level on points, then yeah, I would love it. I would love it if we go there and beat them, as Kevin Keegan famously once said. So Burnley, I mean, we're actually above Burnley at the moment, which is quite surprising. So,
like I said, they haven't
and
started
they
too
are
well either.
playing.
So they've got Everton tonight.
Yeah,
Sorry, not tonight.
yeah,
Wait, what's the day?
tomorrow morning.
Sunday.
Oh,
So they're
It's
playing
Tuesday
Tuesday.
morning.
But yeah, they haven't started too well. They had a draw against Leeds at home, and they've lost to Brighton at home this year. So we'll see. I'm more worried about how we play than how they play. Like we're the ones that usually don't turn up, as opposed to them turning up. So
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
it's all up to us, I guess.
Yeah, it's us beating them is all going to come down to what Arsenal team steps into the pitch. You know what I mean? If we play badly, we'll probably get beaten. If we play well, we'll probably beat them. So, and then the big Tottenham game. Can we just give a special shout out to how absolutely shit Tottenham are? Their game this morning was.
Give Patrick Vieira credit.
Oh, old Patrick Vieira. Yeah, well done, mate. His first Premier League win.
I did like hearing for the first 5 minutes at the Emirates yesterday, the only song that was being sung was Patrick Vieira's song.
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah, did you not hear that? Like just over and over for 5 minutes, all it was Patrick Vieira.
Yeah, so Gavin here, we always struggled against Burnley, even when it had a decent side. Not really looking forward to it. I don't know. Have we always struggled against Burnley? I think it was last year we lost. Have we? I think
away. It's one of those away games that we always.
It's just the physicality, right? It's just they play rugby, really.
Well, I mean, the only worry for me this year, for us being Arsenal, is away games against these types of teams, because with the fans back, we've seen against Brentford, that home fans in those smaller stadiums really turn the game. And if any team's going to succumb to the fans and the team playing at home with the fans, it's Arsenal. We're going to be the ones to crumble. So
we've already
hopefully
done it.
Hopefully that's changing, but it still doesn't give us, I guess, confidence going into it.
Exactly. I mean, if you just look at Brentford's results since they beat us, I don't think it's been amazing. I think it was just the occasion. I mean, they lost today. It was just the occasion of that opening game, the fans, that we just couldn't overcome. I mean, They beat us, and they drew against Crystal Palace, and they drew against Brentford, and they've lost against Brighton. So it just shows you that that's the caliber of the team they are. That opening day's game, that game on the opening day of the season was it's just the occasion that got to us, and we just weren't ready.
No, I think they're, I mean, without, I guess, going off too much into talking about other teams, but they're definitely, I think they've been playing together for a couple of seasons now. So they're a very good team. And they've only lost one so far, and it was a 95th minute goal last night. So, I wouldn't say that they're a terrible team who got, played well against just us. They've not started too badly for a team that's never been in the Premier League. They're 10th. So I guess we'll see as we go into the season. But they definitely will have a few results against bigger teams, I think.
Well, yeah. We don't want to veer off and talk about other teams too much, but they end September at home against Liverpool, away to West Ham, at home against Chelsea, and then at home against Leicester. So that could be a very difficult 4 games for them, actually. Yeah. Anyway,
doesn't look like we're going to have anyone come on today, which is fine. I think. Have you got anything else to mention about the game?
No. Yeah, just nothing to mention about the game. Short one today.
Yeah, I mean, let's just enjoy the day. We've got 3 points. We had a late night, so let's just ease to the day.
Yeah.
Let's not go too hard.
No.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much else to talk about. We'll have another podcast, I guess, coming out later in the week for the Burnley game with Mike and Corey. So that'll be up Friday or Saturday. Hopefully a good week ahead. No injuries in training. It sounds like no one came out of the game with any injuries. So, hopefully the tide is turning.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's good. This is a good way to start the week.
Yeah, good way to start the week.
Yeah.
I'll leave you there, but
cool.
Thanks for joining me, Dave.
Yeah,
thanks everyone for joining in the comments, and we'll see you next week.
Cool. Thanks, guys.